What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cornhole Geartalk, presented by West Georgia Cornhole and Titan Bags. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with my co-host, Kendall.
What's going on, everyone?
And Josh.
What's up, Ben?
Oh, not too much.
Whoa.
It's been a little while since we've been on the mics.
Yeah.
And we've been doing a lot of interesting stuff. But one of the main reasons why we've been out for a little bit, we've been working on a bunch of different things here in the warehouse. And then obviously with the huge rush of the Christmas season, we wanted to make sure that we were getting out your lovely products and getting them out in a timely manner with the utmost level of quality.
Oh, yeah. I feel like this is one of the first years that Christmas was crazy, but it was also smooth enough that we were also able to like work on new stuff during Christmas. I feel like normally it's just pure chaos. But I feel like this year was managed chaos with also still a little bit of innovation. Granted, it kept us off the microphones here, but you know, it happened.
There was we sacrificed in new areas, I guess is the best way to put it, but it went, it was surprisingly well. You know, normally from like middle of November till Christmas, it's just, I mean, all hands on deck, working weekends. I mean, just crazy. And this year went pretty smooth. I mean, of course, you get that much volume in that short amount of time. I mean, it was still a little bit of a struggle, but it went a lot smoother than it always has.
And I just want to like publicly brag on the folks who work at WGC and Titan. So whenever, you know, obviously in any kind of retail scenario, it's going to be chaos during the Christmas season.
Oh, absolutely.
But just so you're aware, like if you're buying a bunch of stuff on Black Friday from Amazon or whatever it may be, that stuff is already made.
Yeah.
We are taking the orders and then customizing them and making them and getting them out the door. So it's full manufacturing setup that's going on. And so when we do these crazy sales like the cyber sale, and when we do the 12 bags at Christmas, I mean,
insane.
We're making this stuff for you guys. And so it's a pretty big feat that not only we did it all, but that it was very smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about today?
I feel like there were a bunch of small changes to products that we saw happen over the course of 2023 that maybe each change wasn't like this notable, huge thing that we needed to like inform everybody about. But I feel like 2023 was a big year of innovation for us to where I feel like we can kind of do a flyover of those small things. Especially like, I feel like if we want to start with the ScoreMate. I feel like the ScoreMate's one of those things I feel like that was before my time when y'all first designed it. But was that one of y'all's first like non-cornhole board innovative products?
Yeah, it was definitely in that group of stuff.
Was it before the airmail box?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Airmail boxes were not even a concept back then when we came out with the ScoreMate. It became a new, like, trendy thing at one point later on down the road. But, yeah, the ScoreMate, I mean, it's gone through a lot of different concepts and styles where the first ones that we ever did, like, it just had a leg that you just set the thing down in, and if you picked it up, it'd fall over.
Oh, yeah.
So like, then we added this little, like, twist button thing on the bottom of it, and then had the same thing on the top, and we found that those things just broke off all the time. So we're like, that's got to get improved.
I know Bruce has one. He was like, oh, it's perfect if you keep, like, a nickel wedged in there. Yeah. I was like, okay.
If anybody remembers this iteration, shout out in the comments or something, but one of the interesting versions of the ScoreMate that we had before, you put the top on perpendicular.
Oh, and you twist it?
And then you twisted it.
Oh, yeah, I remember
the twist lock
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one was super interesting. We used to have those like plastic cups that went down in it.
Yes.
I remember those.
I hated those.
I think it's I think the tavern still uses one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, real old school.
Yeah, I hated those.
I forgot about the twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to undo those when it was really humid.
Oh,
it was a little rough.
Yeah. Well, and then of course we moved on to some different methods of putting the legs and tops and stuff, because like right now we've got the twist lock thing or the slide lock, whatever we call it, on the leg, and then now the tops just sit down on there.
Yep.
But one of the big improvements that I'm super excited about with it is having locking mechanisms, so there's just no movement at all.
They don't wiggle anymore.
Yeah, because like as much as the top wasn't going to come off, the leg wasn't going to come off, but there was still like a hair of wobble.
Right, you had to have that tolerance. Like you're talking about with the humidity. I mean, it's wood, so if it swelled up a little bit, it would.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited, and of course we just recently announced some of the changes that we've done with the tablet holder situation and all that. And then, of course, the whole brand new product.
Oh, yeah.
Scoremate Pro.
Yeah.
It's going to be so impressive.
Man, and there's even some more stuff that I want to share on the podcast, but can't at the moment about some of the things that we're actively working on. But just know that it's interesting.
If we had to give a predicted release date of the Scoremate Pro, what would you assume?
Yeah, Scoremate Pro V1, it's going to be within the next couple of months.
Yeah.
It's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it could be.
Saturday?
Yep, Saturday. Josh, you got to come up here tomorrow and make the listing.
Yep,
No.
yep. Nah, but the Scoremate Pro, it's one of those things, like, it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
But for those who are going to want it, like, it's going to be a significant convenience and game changer for them. And I'm mostly thinking about the guys who are doing, like, directing of tournaments, having to run around and, change out tablets.
I mean,
and all
having
that
a
kind
battery bank built in, having advertisement space built in, instead of, I would say, for that level, wasting the space on scoring. It's just a perfect solution for tournaments. And going all the way back to, I'm going to take a random shot in the dark, I think episode 3, whenever we talked about cool cornhole setups and like home setups, I think we're going to start seeing the Scoremate Pro. And those people, those setups we saw with the cool setups, that's where I think the Scoremate Pro is going to go as well. Because imagine inviting people over, like that one guy who had just like, it looked like a hallway that was framed in.
Yeah.
But like, you got battery banks in your Scoremates. You can go live, or like, I don't know, like Adam Hissner, like his garage.
Yeah.
Like you had battery banks on every single one. People who want to go like live stream. Be nice.
I can see it now. Just the backyard Scoremate Pro, whichever week's winner, whoever won the last week gets an embarrassing picture in their Scoremate.
Oh gosh,
that'd be pretty good.
You got to knock it. You got to get your own in there. That'd be funny.
Or it could be you get an embarrassing photo for fantasy football until next year.
Yep. Or whoever gets dead last gets their picture in there.
Exactly.
That'd be so great.
That's good. Yeah. So the Scoremate, it's been going through a lot of good changes. And still, like, I mean, one of our things that we always do is we're never stopping our improvement processes. We're always looking at ways that, as the market evolves, we're going to keep adding on to these products and make them better.
There was an improvement
better.
we made today.
Yeah.
Like, we made a change to the Scoremate today.
Released that video, early this week of the improvement?
Yeah, exactly.
And then improved it more.
Yep.
So that video just gotta add some more to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
pushing stuff out.
I mean, it's a constant thing. That's one thing about this place is, like, with the Scoremate Pro now, there's not much, unless there's something wild come up. I don't know what somebody can want better out of it at this point.
Oh, replace that advertising space with a screen, baby.
Oh,
That's good.
That'd be wild. Get on it, Ben.
Oh, his face. I figured something out. I figured something out that I'm in the dark about. Okay.
All right. So, speaking of improvements, I want to think about bags a little bit.
Wow.
Everybody's excited about, the wood products in a certain sense, but it's not something that people are purchasing as frequently as bags. And in a lot of cases, there's not as much hype built around a lot of the wood products. They're more of the, staple and centerpiece for the game, but then all the bags, that's the rotating, exciting stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's generally, I feel like most people want the boards to be a control of the game.
Yeah.
And then they want the variants to be with the bags.
Correct.
Yeah. And so I feel like that kind of goes into why we are one of the companies that sells so many bags. Because obviously you want control over what you want to do and where you're at. But yeah, I feel like we've also had, just in the past couple months, a lot of and a lot of movement with what we're doing with our bags. We had the Talon 2.0 change, which I feel like minor changes in my eyes. A lot of people thought they were drastic, but huge improvement.
Yeah.
Just swapping the fill, swapping the fast side, calling it done, and it's a completely different bag in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like world difference. Like that, if somebody handed me both of them, I would not think that was the only two changes.
It's so one of the most interesting things about the release of the Talon 2.0 is the response that I've seen from people regarding the bag has been, I've definitely seen a lot of huge hype from some people, but there's kind of been this like head nod to the fact that this is a good bag.
Yep.
And I've steadily just seen a lot more people using that, maybe not just getting crazy excited, but like, oh, this is a really good bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and more than I think I would have expected. And I think that everybody who worked on that bag to get it to where it is really did a good job.
I feel like it was kind of this, you got to almost watch the Talon go from, it's kind of its own niche bag perhaps, or kind of our initial, I guess, concept of the Talon kind of come to life. But then you got to watch it almost step next to our like original big hitters, like the Devastator, the Venom, the Thrasher, like these staple Titan bags. Like you can say like those are our top tier bags or whatever. I feel like it's just those changes. I kind of feel like it almost kind of entered that arena of like, if you have Devastators, you have Thrashers, you have Venoms, you have, I would say the Dweller as well. Like Talon's a good one to add to that little rotation.
You know, that's actually funny that I think that you worded it better than I did, because I think that people's mentality regarding it was, this could be a staple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, you look at my bag, I always have Venoms, I always have Prowlers, I always have Devastators. Those are the three that no matter what are in there. And now that Talon, it's always going to be in there. Like, I do not see it coming out anytime soon.
Yeah. And so one of the things with the bag stuff that I find really interesting is you have what I would consider to be like cultural changes surrounding a bag. Like there are improvements to bags that kind of ebb and flow with the culture of the game as it progresses. But then you every now and then have improvements to bags that are like revolutionary.
Oh, yeah.
I would say a revolutionary change that happened in the bag world was when flat pellets were introduced.
Absolutely.
That's a huge game changer. And then, I mean, game changer.
I was about to say.
Segue. Now, the patch, I mean, I know people really don't necessarily care for it at this point, but when that happened, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to know when that thing happens next.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of where we're at, where that's kind of the next thing that's got to happen. Because really right now, I guess development of new bags really which is what we've been doing a lot of recently, especially the past 2 to 3 weeks, is monitoring, I guess, kind of the relationship with two fabrics. Because it kind of going back to the Talon 2.0, like even if you have a really good fast side, a really good slow side, sometimes they don't like working well together.
Exactly.
Sometimes the slow side wants to break in and get looser than the fast side does, and you end up with one side of the bag that wants to move around and be kind of an amoeba, and the fast side wants to stay tight and just kind of push through. And I don't know, I feel like it's about finding that relationship between the two.
I like the way you said amoeba.
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 C'est
on.
C'est on. We gotta start adding just a little list of words I pronounce on. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of what's left right now until that next big stride happens, is kind of trying different fabrics and see which ones work together. But something else has got to happen.
Yeah, because I mean, as it says right now, you're seeing a lot of companies come out with the same exact style bag, and I mean, for good reason. It's great, and I love seeing it because even between companies, you're gonna have variances. Like there be a certain style bag that company A makes, and I can't throw it at all. I mean, whether it's the fill, the size of the bag. I mean, it's good to see, but I think there's a few things that, well, we've been testing out a couple. Hasn't been going super fast, but a few things that I think can really, really be another one of those staple changes.
Yeah.
And I think it's really just a race to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking with somebody who's not involved in Cornhole. I mean, they've played it, but they don't know really much about the culture of it. And I was explaining to them about the bags and how there's so many different variations and all this. Like, how complicated can it get? Like, I mean, it's a bag with pellets in it. And I'm like, well, and started going into the details. And I could imagine that at one point in history, whenever golf started to really take off as a thing, it's like, how complicated could it be? You're hitting a ball with
just grab a golf ball. They're all the same.
And, but all those teeny little improvements over time. You pick up a club and a ball that was made today, and then you go back, X number of years and do that. You're going to notice a significant difference.
Oh, absolutely.
And And I know because I always lose because I play with my granddad's clubs against my friends. So I'm bringing out a little bit of raw emotion right now talking about this topic. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you really
Ben's
see
got
it.
these like asbestos clubs out there.
It's got that California label on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of see it across like different hobbies. Golf's a good example. One of the big ones I think of is like bow and arrows. Like the tech between bow and arrows 10 years ago is completely different, but you don't notice the growth until you're 10 years down the road.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's where we're kind of at right now with cornhole bags. Is like these bags are evolving every year, like getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
But you're not going to notice it from this year's to last year's until that big thing happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you have to.
I was going to say it goes right back
Rock,
to what
paper,
Ben was
scissors.
saying. Yeah. What Ben was saying with like cultural movements and cultural things. It's like, I mean, you can look at carpet as an example. Like carpet's not always been around, but since the beginning we had carpet bags even on WGC, like stuff that's considered carpet. But it's once everybody was kind of like, okay, well, let's try this new play style with carpet. Let's attempt something new. And I feel like at Titan, one of the other benefits to us having so many bags is every once in a while, as much as, it's for players by players, and I feel like we're all pretty good at cornhole, sometimes people out there are better, and it's about making a bag that we think is good and then getting feedback from other people and seeing what they start doing with that bag, and just at least it doesn't hurt to try, and come out with a bag that we feel like is, well, maybe if this gets in the hands of the right person, and it's like maybe that person isn't inside this building, but they could be somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, like talking about some of the tweaking and stuff that happens, like crazy as it may seem, I mean, there are people who they make their living playing this game.
Yeah.
And so all these minor adjustments, if you're going to be doing something that is your career, your job, you're going to want it to be the absolute best that it can be, or the tools that you're using. And so a lot of this thought goes into what we do here, and that never stop improving mentality.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even if it's a tiny adjustment, you keep making those tiny adjustments over time, it looks like a pretty big shift.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel like we've really been focused on. Just get the minor ones, what we can do now. We still got in the back of our heads looking for that one big thing, which cornhole bag is a little difficult to figure out, but it's been a fun process so far.
Yeah, it has been. I was going to say behind the camera, I think we've got close to 12 sets of bags of R&D bags that we're all working different fabric combinations. They're all falling all over the place.
Spicy.
Yeah, it's a fun process. That's actually a good segue. We've been really hitting the R&D process hard, refining it. I'd say it's more refined now than it has ever been for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's been good. It's been enjoyable instead of a headache and pulling hair out trying to figure out what's what.
Yeah, for sure. And I think really keeping that organization, because one thing at Titan, I feel like it really is, it's a lot of us who just have passion for the sport kind of get together. A lot of like when it comes to bag R&D or product R&D, it's not like a lot of us, that's not in our like job titles or what we do. It's everybody in here who loves cornhole and everybody who kind of gets together and everybody who plays and everybody who knows people who plays kind of making contributions to that stuff. And I feel like now that we're keeping it a lot more organized, we're getting a lot more streamlined. I don't know. I feel like that group and that R&D process is starting to be a lot more, there's a lot more of a flow with it.
Yeah. Like if y'all saw how many boxes of little 6x6 squares of fabric we had, oh my goodness. And it's been up until like this, I don't know, I'd say the past 6 months, it has been a headache trying to figure out what we actually had. But we have really, really been dialing it in lately, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah. The good old bag lab. Testing stuff out, figuring it out.
We got to break the slide back out. I keep saying it in hopes it'll happen one day.
Oh, the big ramp?
Yep.
You should build one in the hideaway.
Yeah.
We got room for it now.
Yeah. We can do, those like little cat walk ladder things that, cat people build in their houses and whatnot. We could just have like a small little ramp the size of a bag that just goes on the side of the wall.
Like it's a bag sized like Hot Wheel track.
Yeah. That would be sick.
Put a loop-de-loop in it.
Oh, we're going to have a little booster.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
Pellets
good.
everywhere. It gets wound up in it.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
Man.
You watch
be
it
so much
slowly
fun.
unthread in the bag. Like a
This
sweater.
week on how we break in our bags at Titan.
There's an actual cat on it, just swatting at it as it goes.
Yep. So speaking of bags that we've made improvements to, the Talon 2.0s.
Yes.
We just saw some fun gameplay with the Talon 2.0s at a recent open.
Biggest open.
Yeah, biggest open
The
ever.
biggest open in history, right?
Yeah.
Broke some records for
That's
sure.
pretty cool.
And I do want to say this. Not toot our own horns, but Adam Trey did take it down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then we had 4 people in the finals for in the
finishing their brackets.
Yeah, they got had Joe K, Nico, and Adam, I think it was 3
For
people.
singles.
Yeah, all finished second in their bracket for singles. So it was a show for Titan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerhouse. And I
think everybody was throwing talons. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think Adam or
Joe,
I think
Joe was not.
Joe wasn't.
He was throwing tyrants. Yeah, he was throwing tyrants. He was throwing the tropical tyrants.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And then I think Jordan threw talents. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really fun to watch. Those
It
games,
was.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Trey made those bags look like they were just magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need to get me a boom
button.
I did not mean to do that, actually.
Oh man, that was good.
I need to get
You
me
gotta
like
show them what it's about now.
Yeah, I got this button over here. I can talk like that.
No, they got like little sound things you could do on this. I need to have an Adams boom button.
We gotta make one. Yes, we gotta make one.
Yeah, I'll get a little. I think I have a recording of it somewhere.
Oh yeah, we can make that happen.
Get the little sound bites from the one from Jordan that everyone knows. Adams boom.
Yep. Yeah, Jordan or Adam and Trey, they went to town in doubles. Adam was just his airmail was not missing, just like Adam, and then Trey, he was dialed in with those talons. He was rolling big cuts, dragging. I mean, it was a show to watch.
Saw JP hitting some nice little roll shots too over the.
His roll bags can get better and better.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
I have one specific roll bag that I watched him throw with Man of Wars at Worlds, and it was great. It was the ugliest roll bag midair I've ever seen in my life, and he knows it too. But it was it needed to be that ugly.
Was it the game he was playing against Tony?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, with those pink Man of Wars.
Tony
and
Smith.
It was just, I don't know how it went in the hole, but he knew. He knew how it went in the hole, and I guess that's what matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I think about.
I mean,
No,
it's
he's come a long way since that one.
Yeah.
It's like Bruce's rollback he's been working on. That thing is ugly, but it's starting to work really good, which is really scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary if Bruce can lock in the roll shot.
Yeah.
I can't even do it anymore. I suck at it now.
Yeah. One of these days, we're going to get Bruce on this podcast. So we need everyone to help us via comments.
And Bruce, if you're listening, next episode.
Everybody go to Bruce Hawkins' Facebook page.
Yeah.
Pick out a picture, third profile picture from the start, and just tell him to get on the podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
Start leaving it. If you order, leave it in the order comments.
There we go.
Bruce podcast.
We want Bruce on.
Yeah.
Just put Bruce podcast, please.
Yes. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, so we've got an exciting season for this season.
We've got a lot of stuff coming in 2024. Obviously, we have Bag and Bash coming up. We have Nationals haven't even started. I don't know. I feel like this year it's going to be good.
Dude, I'm so excited for Nationals this year.
Oh, dude.
Like,
And even sooner, we got the Triple Crown next weekend.
Yeah, Triple Crown.
We do have the Grand Falls event.
It's such an exciting event. Not really tied to too much, but it is such an exciting event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always had so much fun going up there. And then also, just a Georgia boy born and raised experiencing that
All the snow.
negative degree cold
Are you
weather.
going, or is it just
No,
Bruce and
I'm not going to be there, unfortunately.
I will not be either.
Yeah, but I will be getting to watch what's going on because of Mr. Donnie McPhee.
Donnie McPhee will
man.
be running the broadcast.
The
lane.
voice.
Yeah, I'll have that on all weekend. My girlfriend's going to be mad whenever we're going down the road and she just hears Donnie the whole time.
When are we getting Donnie on here?
Oh, man.
We
We got to
gotta
do that.
make
We
that
do need to
happen.
get a voice of Cornhole and Cornhole Geartalk overlap.
That would be really fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. We got to make that happen. We got a lot of stuff we got to do.
Yeah.
The a lot of stuff coming up for this year, like we were saying. Podcast is one thing, like we said. It was kind of got put a little bit on the back burner, but we've got some plans this year to not only keep it up, but make some improvements, making sure we keep y'all informed. I mean, that's one thing that we've been. Oh man, we were so back and forth we were so upset we couldn't get it done the past few months, and I was relieved that today was the day we got it back going.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit necessary. I feel like too, because like I feel like all three of us kind of coming back to the podcast when we kind of met yesterday and the day before talking about it. I feel like we all have great ideas of what we want to do. I feel like kind of being able to pause and come back and look at it, and because it's something I want to keep doing. It's something I have fun with, but how do we make it better?
Right.
And I feel like we're kind of we're starting that now.
Yeah, and a lot of the improvements that are coming are like really fun stuff, but it's just general quality of the podcast itself, the routine of it being released, which we are going to do a little bit more like short format type podcasts, so you can have a bite size for your drive to work in the mornings on Mondays, or you get to your desk and listen to it there, whatever maybe.
Yeah, I think we're going to experiment with some different stuff here and there. I think it'll be overall really good. Really like to get some feedback from everybody too.
Absolutely.
See the formats, the ideas we have, we want to implement, just try some stuff out. It'll be cool to see what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah, we do want to start doing probably some Q&As and stuff like that at the end of our podcast sessions or throughout. So as we go, obviously, if there's any questions that you guys have, please leave them in the comments, or you can message us on any social media platform, and we promise to answer them for the most part.
Yeah, or at least Josh will.
Yeah.
Josh will get back to you.
I'll start doing that.
Yeah,
I do. I'll probably live stream on TikTok next time.
I want to know
that would be fun.
What kind of topics you guys would like us to cover.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you have an interest in the way that a product was developed, what thoughts we have about changing something, bringing back an old product or something like that. Ask those questions, or if you just have some sort of topic related to cornhole that you want us to talk about, we want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, because one thing I feel like we could talk about, I know a lot of people want to know whenever we cut bags. That could be an interesting thing to go back and talk about why we cut bags.
Yeah,
I think that
if you have a bag you're mad about that we cut, put it in the comments. Put it in there nicely, but we'll talk about it.
You put it in there mean, I'm not going to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
We could do an entire episode about that stuff, because after this last cut, there were some people that were not happy at all.
Yeah.
The swarm.
The swarm.
I don't think people cared about the swarm.
The Talon, original Talon, I was surprised at how many people were like, what? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of with those people, kind of not. I loved that bag. It was so good at what it was made for, but I'll tell you right now, I like the new one a lot better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really, I mean, it had a niche, and if you loved that niche, it was perfect. But I would say the people who play that style with that style bag is so low. It needed something for more people to enjoy. It needed to be something that more people can enjoy, and I think that's what it did.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, it's never going to leave my bag. So,
well, just a couple of things here at the end of the show. We do have some pretty big pending news right now that we can't discuss until everything is clarified, but that means that you guys have to stick around and pay attention, because when this announcement is made, it's going to be pretty substantial, probably one of the biggest announcements in the company history. So I'm really interested to see where this situation that I'm being very secretive about goes, because it could be a big, big, big deal.
I thought you were talking about something else at the start of that, and then I realized what you were actually talking about. I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, so we got that. We have some, I guess, just kind of on the line, we have some more improvements to cornhole boards coming up. So that's, another thing that's happening as well. So just stay tuned. We have a lot of stuff to cover. I know we were kind of a little bit mysterious throughout this episode, but that's for good reason. And so hopefully we'll be able to find out what those things are soon.
I say we keep it a secret forever.
Forever. All right, well, with no further ado, use that coupon code. I'm always bad at that.
I ain't even gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm too rusty.
You did it
this.
perfectly.
Did I?
Yeah, you did it perfectly.
All right, you ready?
What I need to do is put like a dot on the wall that I like.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, use that coupon code. You get 5% off your order at westgeorgiacornhole.com or titancornholebags.com. Be sure to like this video on YouTube and subscribe, and also follow us on Spotify. You know, if you're driving into work, you can pull it up on Spotify and listen, and you can watch it on YouTube as well, and you can see our beautiful, lovely faces along with our voices, even though I accidentally made mine sound really funny for a second. So, all right, everybody. So tune in for the next episode. We'll see you soon.